Howdy do. I'm Karen Adamski with ShamaMama.com, and I'm coming to you today to show you how easy it is to create a simple poppy. I have had poppies on the brain for a while now. I've been working on a poppy mural that just finished up last weekend, but in the last couple of months, I just have had these poppies in the brain. I put poppies on my notebook, poppies in my notebook, poppies on my paintbrush set. So come along with me and I'm going to show you real quick how easy poppies are to make. The tools that I'll be using today are very simple. I'll just be using a pencil, an eraser, a sketching marker, and then eventually I'll probably use some watercolors and a watercolor pen. Very simple. If you don't have these tools at home, that's okay. You can use whatever you have. Just grab a piece of paper. It could be printer paper and a pencil. Grab some crayons, it's all good. I've definitely, like I said, I've been having poppies on the mind. So I'm going to show you a few of the poppy shapes that I find to be very easy to draw. I start with, these kind of look like wings, right? Or a cup, you know, that you can place something like a nest in here. This little poppy here, this is kind of the center in here. So I'm just gonna have a little doot, doot, doot. And then what I do is I come up here, off to the left I usually start, and then bring these petals down. And you can see as I'm sketching, I'm kind of turning my pen or my pencil back and forth. And what that's doing is it's making these kind of wavy lines rather than really straight lines, because, you know, poppies aren't straight. So that's a nice little poppy there. And we're just going to go ahead and give them a little stem and then bring it down. And poppy leaves are super easy. They're very SpongeBob-esque, kind of loopy. Boop. So just kind of go up, make a blob, and a blob, and then a pointy blob. You know, this kind of looks like kelp or coral. And sometimes, if they don't get all of these little leaves going, I'll just put a little like that, because it's like a little hidden heart. So there's one poppy. Another poppy that we can make is one that's maybe just not quite open yet. You can put a flat spiral. This is kind of the bud, the inner part here. Really kind of come down. And you could put some more leaves on here. So I've been using my pencil and my eraser. If you don't want to use that step, if you're comfortable just starting with a marker, a sketching marker, that is fabulous. And this one, let's do one that's kind of halfway open. So we'll start with this little wing here, and then this guy's gonna go up a little more. And then same thing, start over here and bring it down. From the left, bring it down. You could go from the right and bring it down. You just want to have some kind of consistency. And you see how this is kind of looking like a clamshell or something from under the sea. I'm trying to avoid that. So sometimes when that happens, I'll put something in here that makes it look a little bit more flowery. So that helps a little bit. I can also add a little petal kind of coming down. So it's like, oh yeah, that's not a clamshell. That's a poppy that's getting floppy. But see how that makes a difference. And then again, just kind of bringing in those funky little leaves. All right, and let's do one more poppy shape here. This one we're gonna go ahead and really kind of keep him super open. This is like, I'm super spread eagle blooming. All of my petals are out. And then often there's a little bit of something something. It's usually kind of those black, some poppy seeds in there. Pretty easy peasy. All right, so we've got poppies that are open, poppies that are semi-open. We've got one that's pretty much a little bud here, and one that's pretty open. Let's put in another little bud here, just so that we've got kind of all phases here, because this guy's not that tight. So let's add some color to these poppies. I've been working with these neat metallic watercolors, and they've got these neat minerals in them that kind of make them glittery, iridescent when you paint. It's a little bit of paper stuck on there, but I'm going to be using these colors here, maybe a little bit of magenta in there. So this color palette right here is really great. Actually, this whole thing is really good. Probably use these greens for these stems. And again, if you don't have watercolors, just pull out some colored pencils, whatever you might have, anything that you can get color down. And this is a watercolor brush that has a reservoir of water in it. And this water actually comes from Mount Shasta. So we're bringing a little bit of Mount Shasta love to these little poppies. So there's a couple different ways you can color this in. You can just kind of squeeze some water onto the poppy itself. Wherever you're kind of wanting that color to go, this will help it kind of blend a little bit. So we're pre-wetting the canvas a little bit here. This is just one way. There's no real wrong way to do any of this. These are just, tools that you can use however you like. I'm going to bring in a little bit of this orange. And check this out. As I mix, you'll start to see how that gets real kind of iridescent and metallic. It's the minerals in there that are doing that. And it comes, it's pretty bold when you put it on. So I'm gonna put this, it's kind of a brownish orange. I would like something probably a little bit more bright. So I might pull out some other watercolors, we'll see. But I'm just gonna kind of spread this around, not completely, just a smidge on every petal. And then I'm gonna come in and do some yellow. Let's use this brighter yellow since we're looking a little dark there. And again, check that out, how it blends. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so we've got that orange, kind of dark. Let's bring a little bit of this light yellow in here. And because there's a little bit of water already on the paper, once this paint touches the canvas, it just starts spreading into those wet areas. So you don't have full control here, which is fabulous. We don't want to have full control of everything. Especially poppies, they're going to do what they want to do. All right, let's bring in a little bit of this orange. It's kind of a yellowy orange. And I'm doing this because having like three colors is usually really good. But 3 to 4 colors when you're painting poppies is really nice because it's going to give your poppies a little bit of depth and merging of colors. So it's not going to look like, oh, if there's one flat color there that I'm working with. This allows us to have some blending happening naturally. And it adds a little bit more interest and dimension. Kind of perks it up a little bit if we are bringing in additional colors. Yellow. I'm going to bring in a little bit of magenta. A little bit of magenta. I like the way that looks. Blending with the yellows. Yeah, looks great. Sometimes it's nice just to kind of dot in some color too and just let it blend. Next, I'm going to bring in some green. You can see I still have a little bit of yellow on my brush. I didn't clean it, and that's okay. Yellow and green go nicely together. I'm just going to kind of pull that through. And I'm going to use this purple for the center of the poppy because once it kind of merges, this purple with the orange and the yellow, it kind of turns brownish. So I like the way that looks. And this is the one that I sketched in pencil. So once this is dry, I can come over it with a little Sharpie and give it some outlines. Okay, I'll let that one dry. All right, let's do this little guy. And I'm going to use these watercolors, just a standard watercolor set. And I'm not putting any water down here first. I'm just going to paint on it as it's dry. So let's put down a little bit of nice orange. And again, this is Mount Shasta waters mixing with these pigments, which is just really cool. So you see how we have a little bit more control on this this poppy because there's no water on there, so we can kind of direct where this orange is going to go. Now let's bring in a little bit of yellow. And again, I'm not worrying about mixing these oranges and yellows together on my palette. I'll clean it later. But that mixing and blending is actually kind of nice. So there's that. Then, let's see, let's see what happens when we use this little bit of maybe a brighter yellow or brighter orange, I don't know. Yeah, brighter. Oops, and we can just drag some of this bright into that other orange to give it more than just one orange. It's a couple of oranges. And I kind of like having that white left in there. Okay, and some green. Just dragging it. Down that line. And actually, since these are sketched in pencil, when this is dry, we can actually erase the pencil marks if we want to. So say, for example, right here, I don't have a problem with this at all, but say that, you know, made some sort of a little mistake up here and you want to get rid of the line that's in there. Once it's dry, you can just erase it. So that's kind of the good part about using pencil and eraser when you start. But that is an added step, so it does take extra time. So as you gain confidence in what you're doing, you may want to skip the pencil stage and just sketch in with pen. Just also wanted to add, there was one green on there, that metallic green, but just by adding another green with different hues here is going to help. Remember those first two poppies that we did here? They were sketched in pencil. So I wanted to come back now that this is dry and show you how we can just erase that pencil if we'd like to. Typically, what I'll do before I erase that pencil is I'll kind of go over what I want to be there with marker or some sort of a sketching pen so that we get that nice black line in there. some of the paint goes outside of the lines. And that's because I am intentionally not trying to be perfect, because I don't have to be. It's a whole lot more fun when I just enjoy the process. So once you've outlined your original sketch, then you can just kind of come over and take that pencil mark away. This leaf is a really good example. So you're just going ahead and overlapping where you want your lines to be, and then erasing the pencil. Again, once you get confident enough to just go ahead and sketch in pen, you can erase that whole, or literally erase that whole step. This is our little bud guy. So since he's all wrapped up tight, because he's a little bud, we're not going to see as much color with him. I'll put his green on here first, because he's still snug as a bug in a rug here. Green, another color green in here. All right. And because this guy's so dark, we can use a little bit of white later on and just kind of drag it through there. All right, let's get these guys colored in. So if you're enjoying this lesson so far and you enjoy my teaching style, I invite you to come on over to my online classroom at shamamama.teachable.com. I've got lots of fun lessons and good stuff in there. I hope to see you in class.